How is will Gavin and others be able to forgive and trust Levi again?
Ooh, that's a tough one. Well, the Gavin and Levi relationship, I think, is really interesting, and it's also part of like the Gavin Izzy Levi relationship because they've got an important dynamic that pulls through it, and I think that actually their dynamic and how Levi cares for Izzy actually affects how Gavin sees Levi as well. I think that there's a lack of trust between the two of them, but at the same time, I think what Levi does as a character, I think is important because their friendship is so originally strong as a bedrock. And I think that, there's an appreciation from Gavin about what Levi, ends up doing, which and part of that is like how Levi treats Gavin's family. So I think there's a nice kind of they don't ever fully, I think, get back to the way that they would have been originally, but at the same time, there's a respect that's always going to be there, and that's a friendship that can't I think ever be fully destroyed.
Okay. And is Levi going to be able to help find Eve or reunite Petra with her mother?
Who's Petra? I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm joking.
He's definitely going to try his hardest.
Can't wait to see. Thank you.
Thank you.
Certainly, there's such an on-screen dynamic, Nicholas and Ian, between the two of you. There's this great tete-a-tete you both share. Going into this season, where does your friendships, maybe you even sort of just answered, where do your friendships align? Or are you still sort of holding grudges with one another? Nicholas?
I mean, the grudges are definitely present, but I think it's more of Levi's grappling with just the situation that he's put everyone in at the end of two. That I think he's really just looking for a way in any way to help again, and then we get to see Levi being a bit of that hero of putting everything on the line to try to help his friend and his family.
Yeah, I think that what's important is that there, even though they've had a lot of antagonism and that's always there, I think that there's still a respect between the two of them because they were friends, and I think that there's also the two of them have to go on this adventure and this journey together again, and they have to kind of learn how to kind of how to do that together in a certain fashion. And I think that it's when you have had a friendship that's that strong, I think there's a way that they navigate still kind of like being able to kind of work together. But I still I just think that there's such an important dynamic shift in season three with all the relationships. And I think a lot of that actually with Levi and Gavin comes from Izzy as well, because there's a really strong relationship with Izzy and Levi, which I think is really important. And that's an important thing for Gavin to understand. And that's an important thing for Izzy's character as well. And that's what Levi kind of he's not as selfish, I think, this season, and everyone sees that.
Intrigued.
Evan and Izzy's relationship has always been one of my favorites. How is their relationship going to change this season as they both deal with loss and she grows up?
Is all you.
I think their relationship has always been very interesting, right? They've always been very much buddy buddy. Um, Gavin is her person, but in the third season, we kind of see her figuring herself out more so, growing up, and Gavin having to figure out how to connect to her and how to communicate with her. Um, which I think is very interesting because, as I was once a teenage girl, figuring that relationship out with your dad is wild, absolutely wild. And to be able to show that on screen, I think is really fun. And especially in, 10,000 BC.
I
I
mean,
think it kind of brings it back to humans will always be humans.
I think I took a lot of Zyra's lead on that in terms of like understanding that relationship for like a teenage daughter to her father, even though it's in heightened circumstances and you're surrounded by dinosaurs and chaos and you're trying to, time travel and figure out where the rest of your family are and how to survive. I think Zyra has a really beautiful understanding of what what that relationship should have been for a teenage daughter and her father. So kind of we would explore that, and for me, I learned an awful lot about that from her, and I think that's what kind of really helped those two characters coalesce in a way on screen that I think makes sense.